Humans are creatures of adaptation. When faced with adverse conditions, we adapt and make the best of it. In this way, we're merely a product of our environment, shaping our day-to-day activities, attitudes, and lifestyles to conform to the situations we're in. Our relationship with active transportation is no different. Our transportation patterns and preferences are heavily influenced by the built environment of the cities we live in.
The built environment can either invite or inhibit active transportation. There are some basic features of infrastructure necessary to facilitate this. Pedestrians need sidewalks and cyclists need bike lanes. Most cities will have some combination of these two, but their quality determines the extent to which cities are prioritizing active transportation. Montreal boasts 350 kilometers of bike paths, but nothing compares to the Danish standard. In Copenhagen, 62% of employees and students commute to work via bicycle, and the city's built form reflects this lifestyle.
City streets that are densely populated, well-designed, and have a diverse mix of commercial and residential activity are conducive to walking and cycling. Streets that are pleasurable to walk around often create a sense of enclosure. Enclosure happens when buildings block lines of sight, making outdoor spaces seem room-like. Complexity is also a key factor in creating exciting spaces for pedestrians. Streets high in complexity provide many interesting things to look at, such as building details, signs, people, street furniture, and trees. The transparency of shops on the streets can invite pedestrians inside with display windows, an interaction between the built environment and pedestrians at a human scale.
Through imageability, the physical environment can establish useful mental images of the urban landscape. This quality establishes a sense of place that forms a greater physical and psychological well-being for its inhabitants. An imageable space is well formed with distinctive parts and is instantly recognizable. It establishes patterns that are remembered and identifiable. Landmarks are a key component of imageability. They exhibit a singularity of location relative to a city's surrounding area. They serve as orientation points, which contribute to an area's identity and image.
Often these areas of good and bad urban design exist in the very same city. Building heights make a huge difference. Montreal features some of the most walkable neighborhoods in North America, as well as some rather unappealing corridors with tall, looming skyscrapers that are not built at the human scale. The key difference in their inception is the purpose the area has. Some districts are built to facilitate traffic from the surrounding metropolitan regions to the downtown core, while others are constructed with the pedestrian's need in mind.
Cities can also utilize the built environment to promote active transport by implementing transit-oriented development, a neighborhood planning concept characterized by relatively higher residential and/or employment density, convenient and connected street patterns such as grids, diversified land uses, and centered around high-frequency public transport services. Montreal features this kind of development in the Plateau neighborhood.
Studies show that even those who are reluctant to become more physically active commute as pedestrians and cyclists when the built environment cultivates these forms of travel. The built environment has a major impact on active transportation. Qualities like imageability, enclosure, and transparency, as well as the density, diversity, and design of city streets, all have a major influence on how people travel in the urban context.